Everybody, it's me, DeoGenZ, and we are going to take the Deep Colosseum Challenge once again. Why? Because that's what this story progression mainly is after you beat the main game. It's not so much going around and snagging shadow types as it is entering Colosseum battles. This is, after all, called Pokemon Colosseum, and it's done for the precise reason of all the battles that you have to come across, that you need to pull your own pokes out and show your double battling skills for. If you dig double battling, this game is definitely for you. If you don't like grinding, I maybe would say try Gale of Darkness? I don't know. I think I'm going to do Gale of Darkness next if I can get 5 comments on this episode. If I can get 5 comments on this episode, I definitely will do Gale of Darkness. And then we can run some comparisons to see which one do I like more. Is it this one that I favor? Or would Gale of Darkness be even more improved? I don't know. It's a different storyline, but it still takes place in the world of Ore, where shadow pokes run rampant. And yeah, that's right, Mirror B even makes a couple of cameo appearances and may even battle us a couple of times. But I don't want to speak any more of that because we are in the Deep Colosseum of Colosseum, and we just beat Mirror B last episode. So check that out if you want to see some awesome final battling with revival herbs. It's really exciting when you know that I can bring back my Pokemon a couple, 5,000 times, but it's what I am willing to do because the grinding element, it's, I'm not a grinder, I'm not an RPG super fan. I like RPGs, but when it takes grinding, and I know a lot of games that are RPGs get that, I start to lose interest quickly. It's not that I need the game to progress fast all the time, but I like platformers that are fast-paced. I like games that I can pick up and play, and I don't always have to think sometimes like, what was the entire backstory that got me here, and what am I looking for now, and what gem is this, and relevance is that, and why do I even care? What am I doing? Why do I need these stats? Why did I decide to raise that when clearly this stat is better to raise? Those sorts of things keep me away from games like Final Fantasy. Just saying. It's, yeah, it's not very effective. It's not very effective when I play those games, nor is it very effective when I strike an electric type with an electric move. But we will fix that. We will do Thunderbolt instead on our friend Sneasel. Sneasel Schnitzel had a fitzel because it was attacked by a blitzel. Oh, Pokemon rhymes. I was actually thinking that the other day when I was listening to Wu-Tang. I don't know how many Pokemon fans like it, but Wu-Tang, great rap, and I was thinking the vernacular increase you get by knowing over 600 Pokemon. You have so many other words that people don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Well, not everybody, though. I would say the Pokemon community knows what the hell you're talking about. But, you have a whole bunch of words that don't even exist that you could start rhyming with. It would be interesting to see how that works out. But Ampharos could not stay on the field, unfortunately. So we will bring out our Sunny Day combination and see if they can't destroy these two. Oh, see, that's the beautiful thing. If I just strike Sneasel, the ice type, with a Fire Blast, I don't even think I need to use Sunny Day. I think it will be super effective enough. And in the meantime, I'll put Electrode, if you elect the Chode, to sleep with Sleep Powder, and hopefully not get paralyzed in this turn. Alright, I don't care that the defense fell. Just let me put him to sleep. And I'm glad Fire Blast didn't miss. That's the only thing when using Thunder, Blizzard, or Fire Blast. Very strong elemental moves for Fire, Ice, and Electric types to use. It has a lesser accuracy, so while you're using a 120 base move that does no recoil to yourself, most likely will be super effective against what you're using it on, it's not always going to strike. And I don't think that Sunny Day always assures that Fire Blast will strike, but it definitely makes it stronger. But when you're coming against an Ice type or a Grass type that's not even at a second phase, I mean, in this game, that was before we hit 4th gen when Weavile came, and Schnitzel got a bit of an upgrade. So it was just a basic Pokemon in this game. It wasn't even evolved. And even Electrode, as evolved as it is, it was surprised. So surprised its eyes bulged out of its spherical form that it got defeated, but it's not too hard to beat. They may have a higher level than us, but it's no reason to look down on your team. The benefit about battling in Deep Colosseum, or any Colosseum for that matter, is after your match, your Pokemon get rehealed. So it's fair. It's definitely like the, as I mentioned earlier, Yu Yu Hakusho form of you do the tournament, and then after your tournament, after your team has been through the rigors of battle, through the tumults of taking down your foes, then you get to repair yourself, heal up, and do it again the next day. And that's kind of what this segment of the post-story adventures in Colosseum consists of, because it's battles after battles after battles. The battles you require to get the additional Shadow Pokes, and I'm guessing that if you were in Deep Colosseum you would see Shadow Pokes here, so that's the benefit if you have Tyranitar and you want to keep leveling it up on the side as well as taking away its Shadow Gauge. You could probably bring it to Deep Colosseum. I doubt they'll give a crap. It's the Under. I mean, this is where Shadow Pokes were born, essentially, or at least distributed. They were born in Ein's lab, but they were distributed throughout the Under in mass to be given out to Colosseum winners in Pyrite City, and they let you there use Shadow Pokes above ground, so why not in the underground? Just saying. If you wanted to use your Shadow Pokes here and they were at a sufficient level, you could. But even then, I think they're only max around the 50s, so maybe you'd want them purified so that they could actually gain levels when you get to this part of the game. Oh, Wall Rain, huh? Now that is a good super effective form, in that it's evolved. It's gone through 2 evolutions, so it's a lot tougher to defeat. But not so much when it's Sitting Duck to our moist battlefield that's rain danced well, and Ampharos' Thunder. We'll be able to shock this thing, sorry about that, into the next century. Sometimes when you're using the Hauppauge recording system and you're recording on your computer, the computer goes to sleep, and then you got to make sure that it's still recording. I did that with another game that is probably already out by the time you see this, or will be out soon if it's not. And it stopped recording at the final battle phase. It seemed like that, at least. It really appeared that way. The Hauppauge recording screen and a one-hit KO on that Wall Rain, as evolved as it was. Can't take on my Ampharos Rain Dance double team. But, you know, it was not cool. I was really worried when I saw it glitch out and it froze. I was like, I gotta go through all of that again? I just defeated an amazing final boss and I have to do it all over because my computer went to sleep. Hell no. Hell no. I don't want you destroying my Deep Battle Colosseum. So that was the delay. The delay on the delay on the delay on the relay. I relay to you why I delay. And hopefully you don't mind the regular speed battles. I figured since we haven't been in a Colosseum for so long, you wouldn't mind taking up the entire time with these battles. Plus it kind of works out the way that they're paced. We have 2 challenges, a semi-final, and then we keep the final for a whole other episode. This way, if you just want to skip to the final battle footage and you don't want to see everything up until that point, which I don't know why you'd want to do that, I do believe this would help you in your own game. You'd know what pokes to expect when you came across them in the Deep Battle Colosseum. That is, if they stay the same. And I believe they might on the first go round. So if you just want to see the final battles with every admin from Cypher once again, because if you couldn't tell, that's how we're going to see them. I hinted towards it in earlier episodes that we will verse them again. Their vengeance will be attempted, but I will not permit it. As long as we've got our revival herbs and a strategy of double battling that works, we'll be well on our way. We will be well on our way to stalling. Sorry about that. When the doorbell rings, it's a little disturbing to keep talking to yourself and walk to the door with a headset on and talk about Pokemon to the mailman as you sign for a package. So, back to the battles. The exciting battles of the Deep Colosseum. I am so glad that all the battles that were had here earlier have not crumbled any of the structure. For as amazing it is to spawn lightning underground, you would have thought that some earthquakes might have occurred and, I don't know, upset the balance of nature in this Colosseum. Pokemon on a regular, especially in double battle teams where one is a flying type or has levitate or protect, any of those combinations would work. They are going to use Earthquake an awful lot to win their matches. And you're telling me that underground, the ceiling doesn't crumble, cracks and fissures don't open below, and lava doesn't pour through? That doesn't happen? Linoon doesn't dig into the core of the Earth by accident. How deep is this Deep Colosseum? We went down, down, down under with an elevator of a UFO. But that doesn't tell us how deep down. There was no marker like a giant ruler going down as we went down to see you are now at 3,000 feet below the Earth's surface, and so on and so forth. And I don't know at how many feet you need to go before you meet the lava. I don't want to find out by erupting it with fissure. I mean, if Groudon comes into this Colosseum, we could all pretty much expect everyone to be dead by the end, right? He'll make it pretty much hell on Ore, which makes sense that this is the region of Ore because it's a mining town. It's a miner civilization, as shady as it is. But hey, not every occupation can be clean and pristine. Who knows? Sometimes it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Yeah, it's true. Mining is a very dirty job, very hazardous, not safe, and not clean. Getting coal dust in your lungs is not a good thing. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that people have to do that. Still have to work on getting better technologies to do it for us that we can guide. I mean, come on. If we can get machines to guide missiles into people's homes, can't we get machines that can get jewels and other rare minerals out of the earth so we can stop enslaving populations? I don't know. Maybe a social commentary. Maybe it's just a thing I'm thinking about with robotics, but it seems like a capability we are possible of completing. Just as this battle. We will beat them. We will destroy them with our surfing powers. And I don't mean to be a bummer in the last few minutes of this episode, but it's something to think of. Technology can be used for numerous things, but when it falls into the hands of the wrong people, like Cypher, like Team Snag'em, like Blackwater, Monsanto, other corporations, it can be misused to manipulate populations. So, that's my end message for this episode of Pokemon. Man, don't you love the deepness that it can get into? Well, what'd you expect? We're in the Deep Colosseum. It's gonna get deep, guys. We're going post-game. We're going all out. We're going ham! Maybe we're going bacon instead. How about that? Vegetarian going bacon? Shit's going crazy.